roast pork over apples, pears, and onions. So one full day before you're going to serve it, you're going to dry brine, right here, a beautiful pork loin, beautiful pork roast. It's about 3.5 pounds, tiny bit over, actually. It's center cut, beautiful pork loin. And when we dry brine, we leave it exposed to the air in the fridge. I have 4 apples and 4 pears. On the firm side is important. You don't want to turn this into apple pear sauce. I have 2 onions that I left the root end attached so they don't fall completely apart. You're going to splash around a little apple brandy over that whole beautiful mess. Little bit of stock to get that going. And a little bit of salt to get the juices flowing. This rack sets flat. And then we take our pork and I lift it off the brine paper. I had it on parchment paper on a tiny little pan and I set that right on top. So as the pork cooks, all of the juices run off and into our beautiful melange underneath. So for the dry brine, I used salt and pepper, of course, and then equal amounts of sage, fresh or dried, 2 tablespoons fresh or 2 teaspoons dried, 2 teaspoons of fennel pollen or ground fennel or fennel seed, your choice, 2 teaspoons of dry rosemary, and 2 teaspoons of dry thyme. That is what I put on this yesterday morning. Now we're going to put it into the oven. All we need now is just a spray of olive oil, non-aerosol, EVOO. It has a very thin, teeny fat cap, less than 1/4 of an inch, barely coated with fat, but you just want to give it a little extra insurance. So we're spraying the pan with a tiny bit of olive oil, and then we're going to roast this 30 minutes at 425, and then we're going to kick the oven back for about 45 minutes to an hour until this reads 140 to 145, okay? So 425, 30 minutes, turn it way back to 325. Easy. In this other pan, we're going to do the quick stovetop gravy that is totally unnecessary, but if you like gravy, go for it. So equal amounts of melted butter and flour, about 4 tablespoons each. Whisk it up and keep it blonde. That's roux. Then we're going to add stock in a box. That feels about right. And let this thicken up a bit. And I season this with a little bit of white pepper. Just a pinch. Touch of salt. We're going to temper an egg by adding hot liquid to it so it doesn't turn into scrambled eggs. This is what my mom always called glossing the sauce. Then we're going to pour the egg back into the gravy. And then we're going to make it really rich and ridiculous with a little heavy cream. And then we're going to make it magical with a little addition of Dijon mustard. That's the bottle making those gross noises, just to clarify. And then I'm going to turn this just down to warm. Here's our cream gravy. And there is our beautiful roast pork loin, dry brined,